Hey, what's up guys, back again with another video. Today going to do a review of the Pandoras box King of Air 15 kHz CGA version. Alright guys, so as mentioned, this particular video, I'm not going to go through a comprehensive review of all the different games that we tested last time. I'm going to go through a couple of them just to give you a bit of a comparison of what they look like now as opposed to what they looked like in the previous video. But as you can see here, we are connected up to my Capcom Mini-Cute, and the 15 kHz signal is actually working really well. The colors are quite nice and vibrant. One of the issues that I noticed off the bat was the screen geometry is not quite right, but that's something that's kind of pretty apparent with a lot of different PCBs that I have. I always have to kind of tweak the geometry a little bit, and unfortunately with my particular chassis, I have to actually open up the back of the Mini-Cute to actually get to the controls to adjust the geometry. So it's not as trivial as just adjusting some dials on a remote board on a monitor chassis. But in any case, this is Super X playing, and this is interesting because a couple of users on my previous video mentioned that it wasn't working for them, but it's working fine for me. And now this is a Dimmerhu for the Capcom CPS2, and this is interesting to show as well because there is some screen tearing in this particular one, and I'm a little bit disappointed because the CPS2 driver typically runs really well. But as you'll see here in a minute, I'm going to slow down the video and show you the kind of screen tearing jumpiness. As you can see, I've made a little note of it here, and right there you can see it just jumping, and it's quite apparent when you play Dimmerhu for some particular reason. It's a little bit disappointing because it's the first time I've actually noticed that happening. And moving on to Batsugun here, this is a comparison. On the left is the King of Air. As you can see, the screen geometry is a little bit off center there as opposed to the PCB, which I have the original PCB on the right. And you know, I've got to say, the 15 kHz display of the King of Air does a pretty good job. It holds up pretty well. The colors are a little less vibrant overall than the original PCB, but it's really no slouch. And I gotta also say that I don't think I can see any screen filters on this particular game. You know, I have to go back and just check the VGA version, or at least on a VGA LED display, because sometimes it's a little bit difficult trying to detect the screen filters going through the kind of perspex of the Capcom Mini-Cute. And this is Final Star Force, another game that supposedly doesn't run on the King of Air PCB that some other users have mentioned the previous kind of 15 kHz version, but it's working fine for me here, as you can see. And I'm not really sure why that is. I can only assume there's been an updated version of the King of Air that's been recently released, because I can't really explain why it's working for me and no one else. I was kind of plugging it in earlier and expecting it to not work, and I was pleasantly surprised, excuse me, that it did. So I'm pretty happy about that. In fact, every game that I've tested, I haven't tested all 51 of them so far yet, but everything I've tested so far is working fine. And this is B-Storm IGS PGM, and this particular one runs exactly the same as the HD version of the Pandoras box as well. Don't detect any screen filters here. Do detect a little bit of tearing and possibly some frame skip. So what's my final verdict on the Pandora's Box 51-in-1 15 kHz version? Well, it's actually very good. It's a little bit improved over the previous version, the HD only version. Obviously the screen tearing is still an issue, and I think it's a lot more noticeable now when you play it in 15 kHz. Otherwise, it seems like there's less games now that have the blurriness filter applied than there was in the previous version. Now, I actually haven't gone back and tested this particular cartridge on a VGA or HD signal to see if the filters actually are there or not. Whoever is making these devices is taking an interest in my particular videos, because this particular release of the Pandora's Box 51-in-1 King of Air, the games that some users had said that weren't working, like Super X and Final Star Force, they're working fine. So I've tested every game on my device, and all of them are working 100%. So that's obviously a bonus. And the second thing is the intro, the kind of annoying intro that I kind of made fun of in the last two videos, is completely gone as well. The previous Pandora's Box 51-in-1 King of Air, I gave a 7 out of 10. Because this has a 15 kHz signal, I'm going to give this 7.5. Actually, I'm going to give it a 7.8. The other thing I've noticed is it seems like some of the sounds are improved. There's not as many volume issues that I noticed this time around than what there was in the last King of Air that I reviewed, the HD only version. And you can kind of see you can hear that by the comparison of the Butsugun, original PCB that I had versus the Pandora's Box kind of emulated version. So the sounds seem to be improving as well. So this is probably the best vertical multi-arcade PCB that you can get on the market, especially if you're a shoot 'em up fan. So yeah, I certainly recommend you check it out, but make sure you get the 15 kHz version. You don't want to be stuck with the HD only version. And for whatever reason, the games that weren't working for some users previously are working now. So I can only assume there's a new version that's been released, or a new update, because there's no intro video either, which is very interesting to me too. So, well, I hope you guys enjoyed the Pandora's Box series of videos. That's all I had for today. Hopefully we'll see some more updates from the makers of the Pandora's Box that will continue to improve the screen tearing issues, the sound, and the emulation. As it stands, they seem to be getting better and better with each revision. Hopefully someone out there is watching that's involved with the group and taking notice and writing all this down diligently, and we'll see some more updates from them. But for now, guys, that's all I had. Hopefully everyone will got something out of this particular experience. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.